Bring spins, A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got. Dream turn, live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. Relieving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all, beat the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
Coach, we are 15 miles due west of the Atlantic, nestled in downtown Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ready? 54. Mike 54. I'm on. Check it out, read.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Okay,
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
54. Got one.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, TJ Logan. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On play action, they'll throw. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47.
54 is Mike. Yeah. 54. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Mike's 54. Mike's 50.
Back to throw here. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Jaguars. Brandon Cooks, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go!
At their own 28-yard line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Lefty, lefty.
To throw is Wentz. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On 2nd down, it's Sanders, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in there. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They run with Logan. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Let's go.
They'll look to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded at the 33. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Shotgun now for Wentz. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cross. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Going for it with Sanders. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. A very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Powers through it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A 14-yard 1st down pickup for the Jaguars. And we were down in the field watching Henry warm up before the game. He's a big man. No wonder he breaks those tackles.
And you remember what I told you when we were watching? It's not all pads.
Yeah.
When you get him out of pads and just see him in a regular suit or an outfit, he is a huge human being and a lot faster than what people know. When he gets...
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Derrick Henry, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
At the 44-yard line.
Here we go. 180! They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
From the 44, Wentz. Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Let's get off the field, D. Bang, 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 bang.
Wentz on the give to Sanders. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. Philadelphia picking up the 1st on a gain of 15.
1st down, Eagles.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
There we go. Pac-Man. 280! Where's the mic? Let's go. Great. I got it. SOS. 80 weapon. SOS. Check.
2nd and 5 now. Wentz. Dancing, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Josh Allen, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's going to go down again. Josh Allen in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out. It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
Now a play fake here on first down. Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles are usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced...
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From midfield, here's Wentz. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 35. He covered a lot of ground, great blocking, and now they can sniff that end zone.
They certainly can, and because of that run, maybe you come back and fake it to him on this play and throw a little play action. Someone should break wide open.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run with Sanders, and he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Right now, no questioning the toughness of this Jaguar defense. This is 3rd and goal. Working from the gun, Wentz to the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Hopkins' kick is good. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes it the distance. No time remaining.
No cloth on the field.
Yeah, no flags. And it's a kickoff return to end the first half. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Thomas, the intended target. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
On the double. Smooth. 54. Double dog. That's the way. Hey, watch that. Check, get it.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
2nd and 4. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Gerald Everett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Watch out.
They'll run with Sanders, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Here's Wentz to throw. Catch is made by Arcega-Whiteside. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Hey, man, watch the booth.
Wentz now to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Arnold. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle 1st down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free.
That's caught at the 25. Give him 30 yards there.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
Protein spill. Yep. Hey, Echo. Speed trip.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that
he's got a man complete. That one good for 37 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Throwing is Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Denzel Perryman. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. To throw, it's Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Denzel Perryman in there again as he's able to pick up sacks on both 1st and 2nd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, it's Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. There he goes, right side. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear it. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
On 2nd down now. It's Sanders, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Check 50. Check 50. Let's find 7.
57.
Throwing now is Wentz. That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside.
Wentz's pass complete to J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
For Tokyo.
Mike 1. I got it. Here we go. Oh.
Wentz. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cross. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Wentz now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz got his man complete over the middle. It's Cross. That one a first down pickup of 8.
An 8-yard pickup. And an Eagle first down.
Go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch one.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Converge.
Now a carry for Sanders. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now Wentz. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Josh Allen, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Wentz going to throw. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Here we go. 30 base.
Down to lose one.
Get it ready.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that ball is caught by DJ Chark for the Jags touchdown. DJ Chark with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now Sanders. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Go, go. 180. You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby.
On 2nd and 9. Wentz. His throw caught right around the 6. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
You go tight.
They'll run with Sanders, and he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
On 2nd down, Isaac. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. They'll keep it on the ground. Isaac, and somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You just tried to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Watch QB drop.
And they take a knee.
Ready. 50, plant.
Double time. Hey.
Let's go.
And they will take a knee here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.